here we are again. Now it's time for fixing this power issue we're having by getting expanded power infrastructure. We've got all the items here, so let's unlock it and see what we get. And
Milestone reached. The fuel generator will match power generation to the increased consumption of recently acquired technologies and buildings. Additionally, improved conveyor belts and lifts can now be constructed. Caterium scanning unlocked.
alright. What we're going to do here is, we'll look first in the menu. We have the fuel generator. So now 150 megawatts it will generate power. So we're going to go and set some of those up, but we're going to have to set up the production lines for fuel as well. That's with crude oil, so we'll go over that. The other thing that you just heard was that the Mark IV conveyor belts have just been added, and they're using encased industrial beams. And like I always do, that's going to go on my hotbar number 4, and I've just put them in there, so I'm ready to go. We're going to go into these later. They transport 480 resources per minute. Some really good upgrades going to occur there to your production lines, but right now that's the sidetrack. Our real important thing right now is this whole power we need to get sorted out. So we're going to go through those processes of getting it all set up and running, and we'll work on it from there. We've had some power issues of recent, and yesterday or in the last stream I went through the process of setting up fuel power, and the fuel power was using the byproduct from all the plastic that we created. We were, instead of sending it into refineries, turning it to coke and sinking the coke, we put those refineries on standby and instead used refineries to turn it into fuel power. And then that fuel power goes over to the distance. You can see way over there some generators. You can see them way over there in the distance. And that was sort of working, but I believe I went into a sort of a complicated path there because of we've discussed in the past with generators, with refineries that have two outputs, and if the output is plastic and heavy oil residue, and either one of them backs up, then that stalls other parts of the production lines and so forth. So you're going to be watching this video first in the tutorial series about fuel power, because I'm going to show you the simple way first, a dedicated way, and then I will then have the section where we do it with residue power as hey, you can do it this way as well, but it has complications. I know I'm flipping it around, but I think the tutorial series will work better if the really easy option is presented first. And the really easy option is because we still have spare crude oil available over at our train station, and in the refinery we can turn crude oil into fuel. We make 40 fuel per minute, and the byproduct is polymer resin. It makes 30 per minute. So all I'm doing here is we are sinking the polymer resin byproduct. As simple as that. 60 crude oil a minute, 300 pipe is what we're receiving of crude oil. So that's 5 refineries, and that makes enough fuel to power 13.3 generators. So we're just going to do 13 generators. And these are the existing refineries here that were used to turn the residual fuel, the residual heavy oil residue into fuel. I've just put them in standby. I haven't deleted them. I just thought we'll put them in standby. There's no reason why we can't do that. And this continues to function before the same. You didn't see it yet because obviously I made it in a different video. but we just have the fuel coming into a buffer, into a pipe. The pipe just floats along, hangs from the ceiling there. You can see it has a different color than the crude oil at the rings, and then it goes over here, and we don't need any pumps because the everything's with at the same height or within the 10-meter head lift allowance, and then it just simply comes up here and runs along, and I have a split here. We've got 6 here, and we have 7 here, and they're all connected to the power grid, and we have a lot more power. Now that's it. It's as simple as that. There's nothing's going to happen because we're sinking the polymer resin all the time. It's not going to back up, which means we're not going to have the fuel back up. There's always going to be a supply of fuel. The fuel may not get consumed quick enough, but it will work continuously, and yeah, so really that's about it. There's not much to it. One other thing I did want to show you was the refinery consumption, just so you know how I calculated 13.33. So we go over here, let's look at one of these. 15 meters cubed per minute is how much fuel is consumed per generator. And if we go back over here, I've got 5 refineries making the fuel, and once we get over there we'll bring it up and we'll do the maths. So they make 40 each per minute, so 5 times 40 is 200. Divide that by 15 gives us 13.33, and that's how I work out how many generators I need. You can already see it's backed up, but that doesn't matter. This will just continue to function okay. It will provide the oil, and until we need more power, everything will be fine. It's as simple as that.